The Abia State Disability Commission has announced plans to distribute free sunscreen lotions, I don't know why I'm laughing, but to persons with albinism across the state, a move aimed at protecting their health, reducing the risks of skin cancer, and advancing social inclusion. Chairman of the commission, Dr. 𝐤𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 disclosed this during a one-day medical sensitization program organized by the Albinism Association of Nigeria, Abia State chapter at the School for the Blind in Afara, Umuahia. The event themed Meeting the Needs of Persons with Albinism through the medical model focused on addressing the unique health and social challenges faced by persons with albinism. Mr. 𝐻𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 lotion, while the commission will also provide transportation support for members during collection. He added that the initiative aligns with Governor Alex Otti's broader commitment to improving the welfare of persons with disabilities in Abia State. He urged persons with albinism to take personal initiative in creating awareness and educating the public about their condition rather than relying solely on government support. The commission, he said, recognizes the health implications of excessive sun exposure, which can lead to skin cancer, sight loss, and reduced participation in education and employment. He further noted that the OT administration has trained local government officials and civil servants on disability inclusion and budgeting, while also engaging education and health officers across all 17 local government areas to deepen understanding of disability issues. Mr. 𝐻𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 unity among members, stressing the need to combat stigma, discrimination, and misinformation about albinism. The initiative, according to the Commission, reflects Abia State's growing commitment to disability inclusion and public health protection, reinforcing dignity, equality, and access to essential care for persons with albinism. Well, I'll start with saying this is a very heartwarming initiative. This is a very heartwarming development, and also a symbolic one too. I mean, I've been laughing since I saw the news, but I think the Commission's decision to distribute sunscreen lotions to persons with albinism might sound funny and look very small when we look at it, but I think if we want to do a reality check, I think it's a very strong statement for inclusion and dignity. I think because persons living with disabilities faces a lot of challenges, especially skin cancer. One thing that is very particular with them, one health issue that is very particular with them is skin cancer due to that lack of melanin, and all of those prolonged exposure to sunlight. And so what Abia is doing here, what the Governor Alex Otti is doing here with its administration, I think it's very compassionate and progressive, and it's an example of governance that touches the real lives of people. And Mr. David Anyele, who is the Commission's chairman too, I mean, he deserves a commendation too for framing this kind of thing. And what he mentioned, that they have to move from compassion now to visibility, like seeing the real needs of the people, touching their lives directly, not like giving them handouts or, they are not charity cases. This is a real issue. This is a health problem which needs to be fixed with all other forms of thoughtful, and specific needs distribution, rather than just to, always come and say and give them some sort of things they do not need. So I think this is the right approach for development, and this is the right approach, but it needs to be monitored where at the end of the day. It needs to be monitored where they should make sure that the sunscreens go around, and also that transport's fare too, that they are going to give them to come collect it. I don't know why I'm laughing. It sounds funny, but then there's something.
Yes,
we are going to talk
I think I know where the laughter is coming from. When if you're into skincare, you know how expensive
it is. Yeah.
is, and you know that when you start, you must continue.
Yes.
So your laughter is coming from a place of, can we sustain this momentum that we've started? Are we sure that we're able to keep up? Are we
What
going
is the
to
metrics
always
of
provide
distribution?
exactly? Are we also always going to provide sunscreen for the albinos all the time? Because I do not like one-offs, honestly. If you're going to start something, when we stay on course,
Yes, exactly.
do not just give me
Shouldn't be a
sunscreen,
charity
because the
case.
sun shines every time.
True.
It won't just shine this month and then the next month is not shining. No. And in the case of albinism, it's even worse. They need to be treated with so much caution, with so much empathy, because I need to say this. Disability cases in Nigeria, I'm speaking because I'm in Nigeria and I've witnessed firsthand how these things play out. It's treated with so much. People are more interested in just giving you pity, not empathy.
Exactly.
They do not care what you are really able to do. They'd rather give you money than give you a chance to show your capability. I give you an example. A blind man who is standing by the road to cross is not interested in you giving him money. He wants to cross the road. So what he needs at that point is either a cane guide or a hand to hold him to cross the other side of the road. But oftentimes, what do they get? First of all, you don't even have pavement in some areas. You do not even have signs that show that people with disability can also have access to this road. So there's a whole lot of gap that must be covered when we talk about disability in Nigeria. We are not doing well. We still have banks that are built, and it's built for only sighted people. I remember specifically how around 2008 and 2009, I was submitting letters to many banks to have an inclusive, that time ATMs were not even popular. And I was writing letters to let them know that people who come to your banks are not just sighted people. People who come to your banks are not just people who can walk. We have cripples coming in. How do you build places and it's not accessible to the deaf, the dumb, the blind? So it means you're only catering to select people. So I remember that one of those letters I wrote, I was advocating for Braille. The ATMs must come with Brailles, and then text-to-speech, or how do they call it now, voice, so that people who cannot see can at least hear. I also said I should be built in such a way that even the cripple can access it. But you see how the ATM machine in Nigeria are. It's like, except for the POS now, which we are very grateful for. But even at that, the disability gap is still very wide. The example I give is a lot of people just think that many people who have one physical impairment or the other need money. It's not just about money. And if they really need money, it means they're looking for money to go into a climb that really accepts them, that make provision. Because it's only in Nigeria where you even see that something as minute as zebra crossing is not respected. Pavements are not built for everybody to walk on, because then you're seeing a bike man riding on the same pavement. You're seeing somebody with a wheelbarrow. You're seeing hawkers, lining up and selling. So how then do you say you're making provision for certain people? I like the Abia case because we've started with the sunscreen, but can we always provide sunscreen for them? That's the question. Because if we cannot, it'll be better we find an alternative. How do we ensure that we're empowering those people to be able to afford sunscreens for themselves? But how do we do that? No discrimination at the jobs. We are bringing them into jobs without asking them. I think that when it comes to job, the question should never even be about a disability. It should be about what you can deliver.
Exactly, your potential.
But I've had situations where I've sat at interviews where especially able people are interviewed, and the first thing they say is, you're blind, you're deaf. That's not a criteria. If that is not going to hinder the work, then let the person work.